If you forgot your gree-gree at home, if your belayer's not paying attention, if you don't wear a helmet to protect your dome and your rope has failed inspection, if you think that chalk is aid and you take big rippers all day, it's time to watch these scary tales and learn something from climbing fails with Joshua Perry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another installment of Climbing Fails, where we review other climbers' fails and not try to make the same ones. Today we got really special episode. Handpicked some special fails, delicious fails for us to learn. And also, we'll have a special guest and a special sponsor today. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's roll it. Roll it, baby. Let's get these fails cooking. Let me introduce you to Alex Honnold's grandmother. Man, look at this. I thought they said there was no old and bold climbers. What's going on here? Step aside, Free Solo. You ain't got nothing on this. Free Solo Grandma Edition. Come on, you got it. Oh, look at that. Balls of steel. They don't make it like that anymore. Listen, this is how she got to school every single day. This is nothing. Okay, I'll put you on belay anytime you want, Grandma. I'll belay you, okay? You could take the sharp end. You know, you've proved yourself. Your balls of steel, man. They don't make them like they used to anymore. Back in my day, we didn't have ropes, just natural hemp fibers. That's what that grandma's been up to. What we got going in here? It looks a little chossy. Maybe some lime. Oh, here comes a rock fall. This is why you want to be standing over to one side, be standing over there, and or there, and just get ready for him to drop something, because it's coming. Believe me, it is coming. This climb is called the sex change. If you climb this, you go up a man, you come back a woman. That's what happens at these rock gyms, man. Big news. Today we have a sponsor and a special guest. Over to you, Yann.
Hi, I'm Yann from Bliss Climbing, and I want to introduce you to my Bliss Climbing Tech. This is my Bliss Climbing Tech Gree modifier. And this is my Bliss Climbing Tech gate bumper. Let me show you how these work. My Bliss Climbing Tech Gree modifier will glue right to your gree, allowing you to rope solo, and you will not have to drill a hole in your gree. You can also remove the modifier if you ever wish to. But wait, there's more. My gate bumper protects your gree from having any strange cross-loading problems. You just simply add the gate bumper and lock this over so your gree will not catch into a strange position on your locker. Thank you, Josh. Back to you. Wee.
Right on. Thanks, Yann, for making climbing gear for those crazy people who decide to rope solo. Now, back to me and some more climbing fails. Okay, this looks pretty cool, but it looks kind of contrived because we could have just topped out over here, but where's the fun in that? Go all the way over. It's kind of like turning the climb into a boulder climb. What an awesome view, though, man. Wow, pretty cool. Okay, this guy, this might look pretty bad, and probably is pretty bad. Now, it is pretty bad, but that ladder shouldn't be going anywhere because it's probably up against the wall. And if the feet of the ladder are up against the wall, it's really not going to slide back. But you could just easily put a rope over the top and be clipped in. And obviously he's got to keep moving the ladder if he's going to be painting that whole thing. This is nuts. Rope work get pretty crazy. Look at these guys. The wind's blowing them. They're turning into kites. What you could do here is tie down the other end of your rope if your rope is long enough and reaches somewhere. That way you won't blow around like this. This is crazy. If the forecast said it was going to be this windy, pick a better day. This is kind of nuts. All these guys at the same time. Man, I hope they turned out all right. That's got to be... you'll need a new pair of pants after that, man. Wow. Okay. Some actual climbing. Well, it is sport, so maybe it's not actual climbing. It's pretty hard. Oh, it's not really good clipping position. He's pulling it slack and whoop, right down. Looks like a grounder. So right, it'd be much better if this guy had a better stance where he make his clip. He pulled in a whole bunch of slack. The belayer probably gave him too much and wasn't ready, prepared, or willing enough to take all that slack in once he started falling. What he could have done is probably climbed up. It would have been better if he climbed up a little bit higher and then made the clip. Because being there and then pulling in the slack in a bad stance where you're probably going to fall, and then pulling in the slack and clipping, depending on how close you are to the ground, the closer you are to the ground, the more dangerous that is. If you're up higher, it's not so bad. If you're closer to the ground, this guy looks like he's maybe 15 feet. His foot's maybe 15 feet above his belayer's head, and then he pulls in 6 feet of slack or 3 feet of slack. That's 6 feet. So you're already falling. Plus you got this other 3 feet there. So that's 3 and 3 is 6, 9 feet. You're going to be close, like 5 feet off the ground if the rope's not stretching. If your belayer didn't pull out extra slack, you got to think about this stuff. So, yeah, it's better to climb up a little higher and then have a belayer that actually could read body language and know, like, wow, this guy's in a really crappy position. He's probably going to fall. So once he does start falling, what am I going to do about it? Oh, maybe I'll just let him hit the ground. Next clip. Oh, we got our foot stuck behind. Oh, this is why everyone's got to do some stretching exercises. Make sure you can get the. He got a rope wedgie, dude. Good whip. Nice helmet. I bet next time you went up there, you were really cognitive about where that foot was. Yeah, you really want to get your foot. You really want your feet to be on the right side of the rope, not the wrong side of the rope. Or else you get an atomic rope wedgie. That's like a new move. Atomic rope wedgie, man. Got some more choss. Rocks flying your way. Now, here's another reason you want your belayer to have a helmet. Check this out. Okay, can you make out anything that's going on? This blur of motion? The belayer is flying towards the rock. He was standing off to the side, but since there's an overhang, he's likely gonna get lifted off the ground, smack his head on the rock. So as a belayer, you want your helmet on for that reason. Because if your climber whips and you go flying into the rock, you might get knocked unconscious. You might worry too much about yourself, or you have to worry about yourself, right? And so now, so that means as a climber, as a leader, you want your belayer to have a helmet because, like, man, I don't want anything to happen to this guy. He might drop me. So helmets, guys, helmets. Come on. This clip is nuts. This is more for my rope work fans, but check this out. Look how much tension are in these lines. When these lines snap, look at this. That guy just gets obliterated. He gets turned into dust. There's so much force behind these lines. This is more for, like, if you're rigging, maybe doing some really heavy stuff, you're going to get these forces. But if you're dealing with cables, maybe you're going to tow something, and these ropes snap. You're not going to see this much in climbing unless you're hauling something crazy. But if you're doing any kind of rigging, you might not want to be standing next to lines that could potentially snap and turn you into that. That's crazy. Man, I can't do a French-Canadian accent to save my life. Woo, how do you do this, Yann? My head is freezing. Man, it actually feels kind of nice, though. It's a little refreshing.